Hey, what's up? It's been a while, sorry. You might notice that my username is different, but I will get into that in a second. Somebody asked me when I was gonna make a video next, and I realized it's been way too long, so I decided to make one today. I didn't really have any particular topic I wanted to discuss today, so I just decided to do like a random questions thing. So I just googled 15 random questions because I didn't want it to be too long, and I'm going with the first one that popped up, which is 17 random questions. If there are any types of videos you want to see from me, leave them down in the comments and I'll try my best. I get a lot of requests for makeup tutorials and for a room tour, so I kind of have been working on those. I've been figuring out different lightings for the tutorials. I'm using a different camera. I'm using my vlogging camera today, so I'm gonna see if the quality is a little bit better in this. Normally I use this piece of shit. It's the Nikon Coolpix something or another, L320. I hate it. I got it a couple years ago for Black Friday. It was only $99 and you get what you pay for. I'm just gonna say that. So I'm seeing if this camera is better. If it is, I'll try to do some makeup tutorials someday. As for a room tour, I'm still kind of getting my room where I want it to be. Just getting things put together. But yeah, if there's anything else you want to see, I will work on that. So let's just get into the questions. How did you get your YouTube username? You might notice that my name is different now than it was before. The first YouTube name I had was Ashley, but nobody ever knew how to say it, which is understandable because it doesn't really make sense to the eyeball. But I picked that one out when I made my channel because I thought it would be like, you know, like la 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 when you sing, but like starting with an A, because my name starts with an A, so it's like ah la la la. It didn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. And I hated it, but I just wasn't ready to use like my real name or my real identity. And so now I switched it to Ashley Morgan. Morgan is my middle name. I'm still not totally ready to use like my first and last name. It's not because I think any of my viewers are gonna stalk me. It's not like that. It's just I don't want people in my real life to be able to find my YouTube. I don't know why. So yeah, I just switched it to Ashley Morgan, my first and my middle name. If you could change your name to anything, what would it be and why? Nothing. I like my name. It's who I am. It's how I've identified my entire life, so I think it'd be a little weird for my name to be different. If you could go back in time and give your younger self advice, what would it be and why? I think I would educate myself on veganism way earlier in life. Just because I think I'd be able to have helped a little bit more animals. I can't remember the exact statistics, I probably should just look it up, but you save like 100 animals a year just being vegetarian or something like that. It's a large number that you wouldn't really consider. So if I were able to go vegan a lot sooner in life, I would have been able to save a few more lives, and also I think it would have prevented the obesity that I found myself in my late teen years. How old were you when you first learned to blow a bubblegum bubble? I don't know, 6? What did you want to be when you were little? I really wanted to be a vet. I just really wanted to save little animals and little pets and horses and every kind of animal. But then in high school we had a career fair thing and veterinarian was the one that I chose to like go learn about, and you have to go through a lot of school, which duh, you're a doctor, you know, you're becoming a doctor. I just didn't want to go through this school. I know that sounds so dumb. Not only that, but you would have to go through anatomy and have to dissect dead animals. Obviously you have to learn that in order to like perform surgery, which is a good thing, but in the anatomy class in high school that we were forced to take, like it was a requirement, I sat out all the dissections. Like I wouldn't do it because I don't want to like pick apart a dead animal. That's just so disrespectful to me, unless you're becoming a doctor, in which case obviously. But no, I had already decided at that point that I was not going to go through vet school, so I had no reason to need to pick around in these animals. So yeah, but the funny thing is, my teacher hated me so much because I sat out the dissections, but I did my own independent studying, and all I did was just look at charts. I just looked at pictures and I passed all the tests. I did better than most people in the class and I didn't even have to dissect, so Yeah, he just hated me because I proved him wrong. What do you order at Starbucks? I'm just getting into Starbucks. I stayed away from it for so long because I'm just not really a coffee drinker. I'm becoming very basic because I've figured out that Starbucks is pretty easy to make vegan. They have 3 holiday drinks right now: peppermint mocha, chestnut something, and creme brulee, I think. I know the creme brulee one, is that the one? I don't know. There's some sort of one that can't be made vegan, but the other 2 can. The peppermint mocha and the chestnut one, as long as you use soy milk and no whipped cream, they're vegan. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna be ordering at Starbucks during the holiday season. What's the hardest you've ever laughed? One moment in particular stands out to me. It was a while ago. I was very young and I was with my brother and we were driving back from our grandparents' farm in Iowa and we were coming back up to Minnesota, and my brother and I, we must have been like, I don't know, he must have been like 5, I must have been 6, somewhere around there. We were making up a song and I don't remember what this song was, but I remember it being so funny to us and we were laughing so hard, and I started laughing so hard I peed my pants. Then he started laughing so hard that he peed his pants, and we were both laughing and peeing at the same time in the back of my dad's truck. But that's the only time I've ever laughed so hard that I've peed, so that must have been the hardest I've ever laughed in my life. If you could play any musical instrument, what would it be and why? Definitely guitar. I have a guitar. I took professional lessons for 5 years and I was obsessed with it and I loved playing it. I was just never good at it. I would love so much to be able to play it and play it well and understand it, but I tried and I couldn't. So what's your favorite thing to do when you're upset? My favorite thing to do when I'm upset is probably just my favorite thing to do in general, which is lay in my bed and watch Netflix. Except when I'm upset, it involves crying, so there's that. What's your favorite movie? I'm looking at my movie section in my room and I like them all, but none of them stand out as being a favorite. I'm more of a television person. Like, if I sit down to watch something, I'm much more likely to pick a TV show. I don't have a favorite movie. That's the answer. What's one food you cannot live without? At the moment, it's probably Amy's burritos. I really like the black bean one and just the regular non-dairy one. I've been pretty much living off of Amy's burritos. I have at least one a day. That's just my favorite food at the moment. So there you go. What's your favorite dessert? As long as it's vegan, I'll eat it. If you put any vegan dessert in front of me, I will eat it and I will love it. But I guess a favorite would probably be brownies, as long as they're really soft and gooey and chocolatey and delicious. I just love brownies. Favorite pizza topping? Same thing with desserts. As long as it's vegan, I will eat it. Except as long as it's vegan, there's no mushrooms and there's no artichokes. Those are my 3 stipulations, and that goes with any food at all. Except for artichoke dip. I do enjoy that, but like chunks of artichokes, fuck that. If I had to choose a favorite, it would be jalapenos. Every pizza that I get, I add jalapenos because they're just so good. Would you rather have the superpower to read minds or the superpower to be invisible? Definitely invisible. Because if you could be invisible, you could sort of, I mean, you couldn't read minds, but you could figure out what's in people's minds. You could listen in on their conversations. You can read over their shoulder when they're on their phone. If you could be invisible, you could figure out anything you wanted to. You don't need to read minds. But if you're invisible, you can sneak into any movie. You could rob a bank. I'm kind of thinking of a super villain, actually. And of course I would do those things if I were invisible. I would definitely rob a bank. I mean, come on. But I would also go into animal testing labs and I would set all the animals free. I could get into any concert that I wanted to. I wouldn't have to spend hundreds of dollars just to see Beyonce. Like, I could just walk in, you know? What did you do for your last birthday? I saw Jurassic World with Dan and it was great, and I just hung out with Dan in general. It was wonderful. If you had one personal selfish wish, what would it be and why? I would wish for everyone in the world to be vegan, but I don't know if that's selfish enough. That's like wishing for world peace, you know? If it had to be more selfish, I would obviously wish for infinite amounts of money. Obviously. Like, come on. And then the final question, if you were a Pokemon, what would you be called and what would you look like? I would be called Spooks because that's already my nickname. And I would look like a teeny tiny, fluffy, adorable little black kitten with beautiful emerald green eyeballs, and I would be the cutest little thing, but in battle I would turn into a coconut. Are you okay? But then in battle I would turn into a beast. Like I would grow and I would become like really scary, and I would have giant fangs and like so many fangs. I would be like really scary. I don't know if they change form during battle. Do they? I know they evolve, but I don't know. That's just how I would be. Alright, so that was my 17 random questions video. I will leave all the questions down below if you want to make your own 17 question video, and then just let me know in the comments and then I can watch it, because I would love to see everyone else's answers to these questions. I think they were really fun. Also, let me know if there's anything else you want to see me do in a video or anything else you want me to talk about. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!